I'll tell you something that's not cooling off. The U.S.-China relationship, absolutely not cooling off. FBI believes Chinese researcher with links to Beijing's military is hiding in a consulate in San Francisco. So they shut down a consulate yesterday's episode. They in Houston, give them 72 hours to shut it down. Meanwhile, you're watching videos on the giant tortoises returning from the Galapagos Islands.
Autoplay. Right.
You see, I'd advertise on some content like that. That's some top tier content. Any tortoise related content.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a Ninja Turtles fan as a kid, you understand. Tortoise, turtles, not the same thing. So they shut down and give this short notice, shut down a consulate in Houston. Don't really say why, other than the fact that it's something they seem to indicate it's some kind of a spy cell unit going on. Now they just straight up say, hey, there's somebody hiding in the San Francisco consulate. What, are they going to go knock down all these consulates one at a time? The FBI believes that a Chinese scientist with links to Beijing's military is hiding out in China's consulate in San Francisco in order to evade arrest after she was accused of visa fraud, according to filings in the U.S. District Court in San Francisco. According to the court filings, Tang Juan, a biology researcher at the University of California, Davis, was questioned by the FBI on June 20th and charged with visa fraud. 6 days later, investigators alleged she falsely claimed on her visa application that she had not served in the Chinese military. However, photos of her in a Chinese military uniform were discovered, and it is later ascertained that she had worked as a researcher at China's Air Force Military Medical University. So it honestly is starting to truly smell like the U.S.-Russia Cold War of past. Espionage, spies, hacking. It's like a new age version of it.
Yeah.
Back then, it was all about nuclear proliferation. Who had what? Finding out what the plans were. Geopolitical, Cuban Missile Crisis. It was much more weapons and military based. You're right. There's a technological component to it now that's fresh. But the behavior is kind of similar, where it's heavy skepticism. China comes out and says there's going to be retaliation for the Houston consulate shutdown. But now, of course, you have this as well. And you have the UK jumping on board with the Huawei shutdown in the 5G networks, and then China has to say we're going to retaliate there also. And it's hard not to see the similarities here on the political end of the spectrum. You have the high-profile individuals in the U.S. You had Rubio, and who was the other guy with the TikTok stuff? Pompeo. And they're all saying some pretty heavy, heated stuff related to China, and now you're chasing spies around.
Yeah.
So we either have a brand new, fresh type of Cold War, or we have a wild goose chase. We have one or the other, but either way, we have something going on.